best damn podcast on Sunday morning. It's M&C Morning, so grab your coffee and let's go.
Hell yeah, it is M&C Mornings, the best podcast on a Sunday. Well, Sunday morning anyway. Welcome. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic weekend. I just want to say that we're very appreciative when you guys come out here. It's pretty early in the morning, but we thank you all. And let me introduce my illustrious co-host, the Mooch. What's up?
What's up, buddy? What's up? Good morning, everybody. Yeah, I'm on a couple cups of coffee, so I'm a little wired. But I was just tweeting out in the chat. I said, guys, there's a lot of people keep writing me all week long E3 questions. Give us a call on Skype today, MC Mornings, pardon me, with a space, and ask away, man. We are ready to solve all of your problems early this morning. That, my friend, is a you problem. So great.
Hey, we got J-Dubs here, and we were just joking around before we went live. We said, we don't have control over our own little sayings and stuff now, like Jay does completely. So that's kind of funny. How are you doing, Jay?
I'm doing pretty good, thanks a lot, guys. I don't know what the weather's like in your part of the world, but today it's kind of cloudy and dreary, so being indoors and not being out in the rain is kind of a good thing for me.
We call that the Northeast here in the States.
Yes.
That's how it is every single day. Yes, it's dreary, cloudy. We get about 3 weeks of sun here in New York.
Yeah, and we just wanted to let you guys know if you want to call in on Skype, MC Space Mornings. Let us know what you guys think about E3, maybe what you're thinking. And that way we can give you kind of what we're going to be talking about, because obviously it's the big E3 week. This is the week. I mean, if we're going to get leaks, if we're going to get stuff like that, this is going to be the week that happens. Unfortunately or fortunately, I'm sitting on a couple of big things, but due to not wanting to completely be that guy.
Are they megatons?
Yeah, they are megatons. Megatons.
Megaton.
Yeah, they are. But again, like it's a weird situation, because I've talked with a couple of people, and I'm like, I could spoil these things for people, and then I would be that guy. Because I remember last year, I spoiled a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And people kind of were mad. And then this year, I'm like, okay, well, I got something, but I don't want to spoil it. And then I must have got hundreds of messages like, what is it, bro? What is it? Even Mooch is like, what is it?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, he's being so tight-lipped, nobody knows. Which, don't get me wrong, to be honest with you, I got to thank him for that. Listen, as an audience member, do you really want to know right now? I mean, what fun is it to actually tune into this great show that's going to be next Sunday, and then all of a sudden crap told you, or someone told you, or it was a leak. It kind of takes the fun away from it. Listen, if December 25th is Christmas, okay, if December 15th you got your presents, December 25th better just be a big breakfast. There's nothing left, right? So, I mean, what is it that there is? Crap, you're sitting on some information, which is great, but I mean, that's got to be eating you up inside, right?
Well,
I mean,
it does, and the main thing, I guess, selfish reason would be I could leak it and probably be a pretty big thing, but if I don't and someone else does, then I'm going to be like, oh, damn it. You know what I mean? There's that bit of it too, where
I don't know about you guys, but I thought last year was kind of disappointing because of all the leaks, and I'm glad that there aren't.
That's my point.
Yeah,
that's my point.
That's a really good point as well. So hopefully there is nothing leaked further, because if not, then I think people will be pleasantly surprised at what Microsoft does and shows at E3, because there's nobody that's going to actually be expecting some of this stuff.
You had some cause for concern about a week ago. So my question to you right now would be, knowing what you do know, would you say that you're more relieved and excited to see what Microsoft's going to do on
I'm
stage?
extremely relieved, because if you go back and listen to some of my videos up until I heard some things, I was like, man, they might have a bad E3. They might not, have anything. That could be the thing. They could, I was really down on them. And now it's like, since I've heard some things, it's like I'm really excited, and that's not something you can fake. Like, people can tell that it's genuine excitement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just think that it'd be best if people get surprised, because look, we're not getting a Halo or a Gears announcement. We're getting something new, and I think that's going to be really exciting for people. And I think that people need that on the Xbox side right now.
If a lot of people in the chat right now are like, oh, I really want to leak, If you want to leak, here's one from Mooch. I can tell you everything that's going to happen at the Sony E3 press conference. What I want you to do is go to YouTube, folks, after the show, and type in Sony's E3 2016 press conference. You're going to see the same thing. It's going to be the same thing. What Sony did last year, okay, is they showed you everything. They showed you everything. You're going to see those same games with a little bit more gameplay, maybe a release date, and then you're going to see all your third-party deals, which we'll be playing on Scorpio. So that's why earlier in the month when everybody was like, oh, my God, or late last month, they're like, oh, this sucks. Sony's got such a great E3. Microsoft can't even hold a candle to them. And I'm like, what is it that you're excited to see? The games you saw last year? Because when Microsoft did that before, people were hounding them and booing them that you just keep showing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
You're going to see the same thing from Sony for this E3 and next E3.
Well, you know what's funny is Microsoft had the most irrelevant. I mean, Sony had the most irrelevant E3 last year because the stuff they showed, they didn't really show any gameplay to, and they're going to just re-show this year. So you're 100% right. Everybody was like, give Sony the win. Let's give Sony the win, right? Why not? Because because Sony did the best thing. They had an orchestra and they had God of War 4. That was such a surprise. Like, is it really such a surprise? That's what Sony Santa Monica does.
Is that really? That's a surprise to people? Like,
yeah.
I mean, Halo 6. If Halo 6 comes on stage, yes, you're excited to see a Halo 6.
But that's not a surprise.
Surprised? Like, I don't understand. You know, if you walk into your local bakery and all of a sudden he starts selling hamburgers, that's a surprise. But if there's a sale on donuts, I just wait in line. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a big deal. I don't understand. Like, Sony's doing things that are just status quo, and the gaming media, and of course, the great social folks on Twitter are just giving them the victory before the show even happens. And then you got that guy from Game Informer crap that came out and said it's the best games lineup he's ever seen. I don't know what he's talking about because the games he's mentioned, we saw them last year, and it's the same lineup with Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
Look, and we've gone through this, we've beaten it to a dead horse, but marketing deals in a system that we're in right now, I'm sorry, that doesn't make you win E3. E3 to me is the unknown. Right? That's what E3 to me is. I tune into E3 not because I know what's coming, and I know crap's going to hate this analogy, but I'm looking very much forward, not to the WWDC that's coming up, but the one that they put on in the fall. I like it when Apple has their product show because they don't show you anything on the iPhone until that year. Now, sometimes you're let down. You're like, oh, that's not something I wanted, but I like to be surprised. And this E3 is chock full of surprises with Scorpio.
Chock full. Exactly. And we got a call early on. MNC Mornings. Good morning. Hello.
Hey now.
Hey.
Hey Mooch, Crap, Graphic God Jay, thanks for having me on. Hey guys, I got a question. What do y'all think about maybe the Friday the 13th game being put on Microsoft's dedicated servers? Don't you think that would have helped out a whole lot more? Thanks, guy, for having me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would change the attitude immensely amongst all gamers. We were playing just the other night, and twice, Crap, right? 2 out of 5 games crashed.
Yeah.
And
it was not only did that. Well, the game completely crashed, like for everybody, I think once or something. But then there was the one time where just random people got booted and didn't get the XP or whatever. Like the one time I survived and would have got a bunch of XP. Boom! It freaking crashed. I got away on the boat. I was like, I'm on a boat. Like totally stole. It totally stole the boat. So
yeah, anyone that didn't tune in this past Friday, you really missed out. There was some classic mooch moves occurred. She-Wolf actually grabbed the gasoline for the boat, and then Neth, who's been joining us, Neth, Neth grabbed whatever motorized part was necessary, and as She-Wolf was like going out to look for it, Neth's like, psst, yo, hey, he pulled like a Beetlejuice, okay? He's like, hey, look over here. You know, and he's like, I'm like, what the hell's going on? He's like, move. And I go over, and me and him like end up like mooching the boat from She-Wolf. And she's like, that is ridiculous. That was the worst. That was the worst I've done since I mooched all those soccer goals and soccer cars off.
That's what I said. I reminded me of. Yeah, and then so I think on the next map, she was real quiet about it because we were all in party chat so we could hear each other. And I just see her over there, like grabbing, like she's putting stuff into the boat. And I was just like, oh, I see what you're doing there. I'm gonna stick around. And so I just like hid out in like the little outhouse there. And then when it was time to go, I like hopped on the boat. I was like, see ya. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, so, but I got away. I was like, drive. But it was so funny because as bad as that game is, and again, like we've talked about Friday the 13th till people are probably tired of hearing about it, but it's still massively fun. And we had an incredible stream on Friday night. It was like over 100 people watching the co-stream with all of us.
Yeah, we made the top 10 on Mixer.
Yeah, we were top 10 on Mixer. Like, not many people can say that. And yeah, it was an amazing stream. We were having a good time, and it was really funny. And I screamed like a girl a couple of times. And
Okay, I'm definitely buying the game now. Just even if it's buggy, like I'm not sure. Since they've released those patches, has the game improved?
Yes.
yeah, they actually the graphical things improved
Yes.
too because it's still that same weird like preppy kid like at the beginning, and he has that.
Yeah, but
face.
now the campfire's not going through his eyeballs.
Yeah, so
the
that is
graphic
good.
has been fixed.
Yeah,
No,
that is
but my recommendation to J-Dubs and to a bunch of people that keep writing me every day, should I get it? Should I get it? Like, get it. I mean, this sounds
Get it
ridiculous.
now.
Like, buy it right now.
Yeah.
Like, because to be honest with you, this is like a firecracker kind of game, right? After a while, it fizzles out. You know, so I mean, get it now while people are playing it. I can see us still doing it, a week or two left at least to stream.
Oh, there'll be plenty of streams because a lot of people come out to
Right.
watch the co-streams.
Yes.
Like I can imagine
Yes.
that's probably what we'll play next Friday too. So
I agree.
Matthew, happy birthday in the chat. He says it's his birthday. So
Happy birthday,
Matthew,
brother.
yeah, happy birthday, man. MNC Mornings, what's up? How can we help you?
Good morning, fellas. I'm calling this morning from the Church of Xbox, where we worship the Holy J, the Dub, and the Holy Graphic God. Forgive this poor old sinner, but the great deceiver. Some call him Beelzebub, others call him Satan. But in the Church of Xbox, we call him Yoshida. And Yoshida, he came to me years ago, and he said 1080p makes you a better gamer. And I say, so what does 4K do for you? Well, the same deceiver, Yoshida, said that Killzone was the Halo killer, the Yorta was the Gears killer, and GT was the Forza killer. But I had a vision that in 1 week, at E3 2017, the great prophet Phil Spencer is going to bring us to the promised land. 4K gaming, 60 frames per second, the most powerful console there is, and the haters are going to hate. So, when he gets us there, maybe he's going to stop making me talk like the love child of Georgie Marcano from Mafia 3 and Zachary Comstock from Bioshock Infinite. Can I get a praise, J-Dub? All right, fellas.
J-Dubs.
I'm going to let you enjoy your Sunday. Later.
That's our buddy who always calls in. Jay, what's his name?
It's Colin.
Colin.
Okay, yeah,
Awesome.
like
Colin Thompson.
I felt like he was wiping sweat from his brow while he was up there preaching to us. You know,
I said, the big fan in the corner on.
Yeah.
He's got the waving that.
he's testifying on MNC Mornings on a Sunday morning. Can you beat that? That was
awesome call.
that was a really good one.
He knows his games too, because I know when he's
Yeah.
talking about from Bioshock Infinite, and as much as I've played that game, I know the character he's talking about, but I would never have known the name he picked out. That was great.
Yeah. Also, the guy from Mafia 3 as well. He nailed it, man. It sounded just like him.
You know, somebody
so.
said that to me. They're like, "So Mooch, what are you going to play?" And I'm thinking, after I finish, I should be done or pretty close to done with Prey by the end of this week. Mafia 3 might be
It's
something
amazing.
I pick up.
I've been playing through the DLC on that. It's phenomenal. Absolutely great. The music alone makes it great. So, MNC Mornings, how you doing?
Come on up, pull up.
Hello.
Hey, good morning, Mooch. Good morning, Crap. Happy Sunday to you guys and everyone in the chat. J-Dubs, happy Sundays to y'all. What do you think about Microsoft unveiling the full power of the cloud for Xbox at E3? And I'm not talking just Crackdown. I'm talking about, PS Now has streaming, but what if Microsoft says you could stream to any device as long as the bandwidth is there? I mean, all you are is only as strong as the bandwidth that you have. What do you think about Microsoft, being the butt of this cloud joke and coming full force with that, just as well as Scorpio at this year's E3? I just want to know your thoughts on that. And once again, you guys, thanks for taking my call and have a good day.
All right. Well,
Are they going to get into that crap? Are they going to notice Microsoft has said nothing in the Xbox world about the cloud? I mean, are we going to hear about that with Crackdown, or you think they're going to just avoid that and be like, just check out how great this game is?
I think they're just gonna. I you know what? I don't know if they're gonna sit there and talk about the cloud very much.
Right.
But I do think that they will probably mention that it's helping or whatever. Like I'm thinking that they're going to have an absolutely fantastic presentation with Crackdown 3 because this game is going to be one that has to impress people. Let's be honest. The last time we saw it was years ago, and it was like pre-alpha. So yeah, I'm not really sure. You know what we're going to.
What you're talking about that was pre-alpha wasn't even E3, right? That was that stage demo show that they were doing at one of the builds, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was. Well, they did one at Gamescom a couple years ago. Remember?
Okay, that one there, I'm drawing a blank on. For some reason, the only thing I remember from E3 being shown on Crackdown was that cartoony, basically coming attraction.
Yeah, well, they did do a little bit of gameplay before, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see. Well, this is going to be this is years later, So we're definitely going to see something that's.
Are we all but confirmed this is coming out this fall, Crap?
Yes, they did say that it's going to come out this year. So, you know what? That's what I say when people are worried about. I always ask, what's a good number of AAA exclusives to come out in a year for a console? Obviously, people have different kind of ideas about that.
Right.
For me personally, I don't know. 4 or 5 is fine. AAA's. To me, that's a good number because that's a number that people are going to be more apt to support. And I think Microsoft's right on the right track with that. If you come out with too many like that, how are you going to compete with the AAA multi-plats?
Well, that's why I said earlier too, and I'm going to reissue the statement again. The reason Sony's got all these marketing deals with every single game that's coming out is because their in my opinion, their first-party games aren't ready. They're not going to have many this year. They may have 1, maybe 2. I doubt it. I think you're going to have 1 first-party from Sony this fall. And that's why they loaded up heavy with all these contracts. Because think about it. Phil's come out and said it. He's trying. People can say they don't like it, but Phil's trying to put his money into first-party crap. Okay, some projects are working, some aren't. But Phil's spending it there, so he's not spending it in third-party marketing deals. You see, the opposite happens on Sony's side. They're putting it in third-party marketing deals, and their first party's just not ready to perform yet.
Yeah, I agree 100%. See, I want to touch on this more, but now we got a call. So
that's all right.
M&C Mornings, what's up? Yellow.
WNBC.
They're shy.
Hey guys, good morning. This is Jeff back here again from KC. I just had a quick question with Microsoft teaming up with Sega possibly. Do you think we could see a return to some of the beat-em-up genres like Streets of Rage, or maybe take Shinobi and turn it into a kind of a Ninja Gaiden game? That's all I had for you. Thanks again. Everybody hit that like button. Bye, guys.
Yeah, awesome call, by the way.
Yeah.
But listen, Crap, I want you to take this away. I'm just going to pose the question that the caller just said, but just a little differently. I don't know if those street fighting type of games that we saw, like Streets of Rage, I don't know if those games have that. I just don't think that gamers today have the I wouldn't use the word patience, but the want to play the games that we played when we were growing up. I think that's come and gone.
Yeah, you know what? I think what Sega's plan is to do beloved franchises, the AAA, the bigger ones, because Sega did come out and say, hey, they're back and they're gonna do a lot more things in the future, and they do have a partnership with Microsoft. So I would think that we're going to see a reinvestment in some of the stuff that they have, like the IPs that they own, and maybe some new ones as well. But
okay, but Crap, I have to ask. Let me ask you a question, because I know you talked to a lot of people on this, and I think people in the chat want to know. When you say they're going to reinvest, are we going to get remakes from Voodoo Vince, where they took the old ones and they just glorified it, or are they going to take something like Shinobi and build it from the ground back up and make a reboot of this generation's version of that game? Nostalgia is a hell of a drug. It's perfect. It's perfect. I like how Jay has one of my lines right after I get done speaking. It's great.
Yeah, they're making new ones, so that's what the plan is. They're going to make brand new ones. They're testing the waters. They released some of these games that weren't released previously on PC to see if there was any kind of want or need there. You could even see something like a Bayonetta 3 potentially come out. Look, the second part was a really good game, and that was exclusive to the Wii U, right?
Right.
So that means that they are looking for publishers for stuff. That's what Microsoft could possibly be trying to get a hold of, something like a Bayonetta 3. Imagine that as an exclusive on Xbox. I think that would be huge. And it probably wouldn't be that expensive, to be honest with you. So like that's the type of thing that I would think that they're looking to kind of get into.
No,
I just want to remind you guys that we do have a really funny top 10 today, so you might want to start hitting that like button because
yes, it is definitely
yeah.
a Mooch favorite. This is one of my favorite top 10s.
Yeah, so hit the like button because I'm not gonna drop it till well after 200 likes. So
nice crap. I love how you hold things ransom.
Yeah.
No, I mean my whole thing about this is that like I just would like to see. So let's give credit where credit's due. Like so, people were saying, a good friend of yours, crap, Insider X, he said that Shinobi is one of the games being remade. And I mean, listen, the thing about that is what does that game have legs? Do you think that's something that they could reboot and put out on the platform?
Shinobi?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody really cares about Shinobi.
Right. I kind of agree with you. Now, my next, I'm going to part 2 to that question is let's talk about Bayonetta 3. Bayonetta 2 was made by Platinum Games.
Yeah.
Right? Now,
Yeah.
so would that mean that, but it's a Sega property?
Yes.
Okay, so if Sega makes the deal with Microsoft for Bayonetta 3, who would be the actual developer?
Well, it would still be Platinum, I'm guessing, and then Microsoft would be.
What a great work ethic we have with them.
Yeah, look at Noof. He's like, I care about Shinobi. Like, I get it. Look, when I say no,
somebody, right?
I know. Look, I'm not saying that nobody would care about that game, but let's be honest. That game, it's like that new Baywatch movie, right? That flopped.
Right.
And why did it flop? It isn't because The Rock isn't funny or that. You know what I mean? It's just the fact that that movie comes out and like they went for a hard R rating. And most of the people that watch Baywatch probably didn't really associate, and it had really little to do with the show from the 90s. You know what I mean? It's like the Shinobi is such like a 90s thing. I'm not sure that there's a lot of people would even know what Shinobi is or care.
This is a great time for my sound effect there, but nostalgia is a hell of a drug, people. I think we're living in the past as gamers.
Luca even says it. I don't even know what Baywatch is. See, and she's like 24 or 25. So,
right.
Like when you're doing a hard R-rated movie, you got to be funny and relevant, and that's not really that relevant. So, I want to talk about something real quick before we had that last call, which was the number of exclusives that are a good amount. And someone in the chat said 4, 2 in the beginning of the year and 2 at the end of the year. And that, to me, is a good amount. Like, we got Halo Wars 2 at the beginning of the year and some remasters and whatever. And then towards the end of the year, we're going to get Forza 7, State of Decay 2, and Crackdown 3. That's a good number. Maybe split those up, add one more in the mix for the earlier of the year. That's perfect, in my opinion. You don't need 20 exclusives a year. I
agree.
That's a waste because people aren't going to buy them. So just my opinion anyway. Yeah. M&C Mornings, how you doing? Phone line's on fire.
Hey, Mooch and Crap, it's Joseph. Just want to ask you guys a couple of questions, maybe 2 of them. We're 7 days away from E3, as you guys know. And I want to know if you guys think that we're going to get a $3.99 price tag for Xbox Scorpio. And also, there's a rumor going out, well, I think it's a rumor, that possibly Cyberpunk might be a DLC marketing rights for Microsoft, I guess. So what's your thoughts about that? All right, guys, take care.
Yeah, good call from Joseph. Good to hear from
good
you,
call. I wrote both those down, even though they were pretty easy.
$3.99 has to happen, crap.
Yeah, it has to. Like, I see some people going, well, that goes against what Microsoft has said as far as their narrative and things like that. It's premium. It's for those in the know. Yeah. Here's the thing. This is a product that is going to... It has to be out there to impress people, to make people want to get it. Like, Microsoft postures a lot, and they say a lot of things. So even though they haven't said directly, oh, this is to compete with PS4 Pro or anything like that, it's obviously to do that. Right. And I think that for that price, $3.99 has to be the price point. Just for the simple fact of that's saturation right there. If it's more than that, then not only does Microsoft face the real possibility of that flopping, but also the Xbox One S becoming less and less relevant. It's already not selling very well this year. You know what I mean? Like, again, the PS4 and the Xbox One outsold by the NES Mini last month. So you've got to do something to reinvigorate people. So they have to put this thing at a $3.99, whatever they got to do. Because it's not the hardware that's going to make them money in the long run anyway. It's going to be the software. It's going to be the services. And you need people on your platform before you can make money off your software or your services.
Well, listen, I want to answer somebody in the chat. Cypherman says, if nostalgia is a hell of a drug, Mooch, he's like, so why is there still Zelda, Mario, Metroid? Listen, here's the thing. You're using Nintendo as your example, and that's fine. Nintendo's Zelda and Mario are not nostalgia. That's still their primary games.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when I'm talking about nostalgia, I'm talking about games that came out in, let's say, the 90s or the early 2000s and haven't had a game since. I mean, Zelda and Mario's are coming out every 3 to 4 years. You know what I mean? Maybe not Zeldas all the time, but the Marios are out so often. I mean, the Wii U, I love Mario games, and they just drowned us in Mario. And then what did they do when they ran out of Mario? They're like, we'll make it the year of Luigi and make it the same game but green. And it was like, okay. So I mean, okay. It wasn't it's not the bust Nintendo stuff, but Nintendo is not nostalgia. Nintendo, that's just their lineup. Their lineup is nostalgia.
Yeah, exactly. MNC Mornings, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, y'all? Dirk Riggedy here.
Diggity.
A week away from greatness, right? A week away. You know, it's been a rough 4 years for us Xbox fans. It's been pretty rough, right? But I think it's time for things to change. I really think it's time for things to change. Next week is a big day for me. I called in sick to church. I'm not going. I know the show is later in the day, but hey, there's a lot of BGST related podcasts going on. Hey, fellas, could you break down how many shows you're doing, on who channel is going to be on and whatever? Because I really need to know, because I want to listen to all of them. I can't wait, man. It's a big thing. Well, that's all I got, man. This was, just a little call just to say how excited I am. I know we're all excited, but anyway, that's all I got, fellas. Peace out.
Yo, that was great, Diggity. Thank you. Crap, allow me to take it. I'll say that, and then please interject if you disagree. Next Sunday, starting bright and early, MNC Mornings early E3 coverage, 11 o'clock, of course, a.m. Here it'll be on my channel next week. And then we go into a pre-live show on Zaire, Next Gen 720's channel. And then we do the post-show on Crap's channel after. Yeah. We usually take about I'll say 45-minute break. We catch our wind, grab a drink, something to eat, and then we come back and do a couple hours on Crap's channel. There's a lot of coverage. There's a lot of Xbox folks doing coverage. But I'm just answering Diggity's question about the BGST crew. Crap, I mean, that's as far as I know, and that's being very traditional. We've done that for I've been doing it with them for 3 years. So I don't see it changing in that retrospect, but there's a lot of folks doing some great coverage. So, feel free to join all of us, and then feel free to jump around and check out all the great coverage that's going on all day.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of good coverage going on, just like on various things, and I'm gonna try to help out as many people as I can. Obviously, like after and stuff like that. The good news is Microsoft's is on Sunday and not till that night, so we should be good with that. And then Monday, we usually pretty much only cover the Sony stuff as BGST, so that I'm gonna help out as many people as I can and see what we can do. But there's gonna be a lot of coverage, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's very exciting. Hopefully we get some
Sajibot. Shout out to Sajibot, by the way, awesome fan, listener, contributor himself. And he goes, switching channels is going to be a bit confusing. Yeah, no, it is. I mean, listen, I got news for you. When there's the New Year's Eve celebrations, or when you're talking about 4th of July fireworks, like 8 different channels are covering very similar coverage, right? It's really up to you on who you like that's hosting. So that's up to you and the audience. Yeah,
and we usually, if people that follow us usually follow us on Twitter and various social media outlets. So we always get, we always get that kind of stuff anyway. So we've been doing that for a couple of years now. So it'll be, it shouldn't really come as that much of a surprise to anyone. I think that it'll be a really good show, like always. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, no, E3's got me really hyped. I think because it's on a Sunday, Crap, it makes it that much more fun. It's kind of like the Super Bowl of gaming, because before, when it was on Monday, not that it was any less exciting, but it was like we had to take time off from work. There's a little bit more rigmarole on a Monday. Where Sundays, that's why I enjoy MNC Mornings so much.
I like the word rigmarole as well. That's
rigmarole is one of the best words to ever be invented, by the English language. But no, I just think that Sunday is going to mark a key presentation from Microsoft crap, and I think that they're going to continue to do Sundays as their E3 progresses year to year.
Yeah, well, one of the big reasons is probably to jump out in front of, everybody else. That way you have a full day for your show to sink in before Sony's hits the air. You know what I mean? Like, you can dominate all the headlines. You're going to be able to, you're going to have the market all to yourself. Plus, you get out in front of Bethesda, who probably is showing off. They're probably going to be showing off some games on Scorpio.
I mean, we did so many hypotheticals crap when we were talking about what if, and they're all what ifs, people, so don't take this and run to the papers. But I mean, there was talk, crap had heard just murmurs and whispers of possibly the people that made Fallout New Vegas are going to have something maybe, and that may be marketing rights. That combined with the Project Dylan from BioWare, combined with Borderlands 3.
Hey, the last guy also mentioned about Cyberpunk having marketing rights with Microsoft, which I have heard is true as well, since they have a good relationship with Microsoft. So that game could be, something that we see on the stage as well.
Witcher 3 broke records and was an unbelievable smash hit for this generation. Okay, Cyberpunk, they're saying, is supposed to blow Witcher 3 out. So, I mean, this thing could be Microsoft's ace in the hole, and I'm wondering if they did something more than just DLC. I know you're saying it wouldn't be more than that, but I wouldn't be surprised if they got something really, really cooking with this Cyberpunk thing. I don't know. I just feel like, because it's a single-player game, right?
Yeah. It's an RPG.
Okay, well then just hear me out, crap. Those single-player games are where Microsoft really wants to shine. You might go, what are you talking about? Because that's when they can really unleash Scorpio, right? They can do 4K 60 on single-player games, because why not? My 4K 60 on Scorpio doesn't affect your 1080p 30 on Xbox One S. You know what I'm saying? That has nothing to do with you. That's a you problem. You don't want to go buy it? Don't. But I'm going to enjoy 4K 60 on Scorpio.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Everything that we see on Sony stage is also gonna be something that I'm looking forward to playing on, on the Scorpio. Like, that's why I'm happy about Sony's presentation, is the fact that everything they show on there, I'm gonna be playing it on my Scorpio. So I'm very excited about that. Hey, some people are mentioning they're having a little bit of problem with the stream. Like, for me, it's fine. I know YouTube sometimes has a little bit of problems and stuff, but like on mine,
that, my friend, is a you problem.
I mean, I don't know what to say. Unfortunately, YouTube messes up sometimes, but it's fine on mine. I'm watching it live as it's caught up. So if you guys are having a little bit of trouble, then maybe just reset your stuff or something. I don't know, but seems like it's working for me. So it could be a little bit of a you problem. I don't know.
Yeah, not sure. Have we hit any voicemails?
We haven't. So I was just thinking, man, even though we don't have a ton of them, we better go ahead and
we haven't we haven't done a voicemail. It's hysterical.
J-Dubs, who we got on deck? There we go.
Hey guys, this is Panko. Mooch, I think you and I have chatted a little bit on Twitter in the past. Anyway, I have a question. I want to say something out loud that a lot of you have heard before, all you guys out there. Does size matter? I have a 55-inch LG 4K HDR set that has a PS4 Pro and an Xbox S on it, and I love it. I also have a 65-inch bigger, 10-inch bigger, 4K non-HDR set that has a vanilla PlayStation and a Xbox S. So the question is, it seems that Microsoft, with all their hullabaloo last summer, has only put out 5 HDR games, including, even though they did the marketing rights to Battlefield 1, and also Titanfall 2, they don't have an HDR of either one of them on their stores, I can see. So anyway, the question is, when I get my Scorpio, shouldn't I put that perhaps on my 65-inch? Or I really prefer the bigger size than the HDR. I want to see HDR on my Xbox. I can go downstairs and see it on my 55-inch little guy. So anyway, I was just curious on your thoughts of where should I hook up my Scorpio when that comes out. Anyway, you guys, you take care. You have an awesome show, and I look forward to hearing your answer. would be good. Bye-bye.
Well, Mooch will try to sell you on the biggest TV ever.
Yes.
Like I saw somebody who spent like mega bucks yesterday on a OLED 4K. What he got like
I told him he's got to go bigger.
He bought a 55 inch, right? So, and then he like Mooch is like, go for the 65.
Yeah,
he's like and he did it.
He did. He's like, you know what, Mooch, you're right. I want to return this. No, it was. Listen, here's my whole thing. To answer the gentleman's question, though, I mean, crap, you got to go. Listen, everything's within your means, people. Okay, you don't go outside of your means, but whatever you're comfortable in spending, I'd say go with a 65-inch television. You want to make sure you got your HDR on there, 4K. You know, I'm going OLED. I waited a full year. I wanted the 2017 models to come out because the input lag and such were supposed to be much, much, much better, and then it did happen. So I'm glad I waited, but I'm leaving day one. I will have a Scorpio under my left arm, and I will be carrying, well, I'm going to have some people carrying the 65-inch television to the car. I'm going to be doing the whole thing in one kick. It's what the console calls for, right? So you don't want to put your Scorpio on a lesser TV. You put your Scorpio on your best TV in the house.
Yeah, exactly. 100% agree with that. Man, phone line's on fire today. MNC Mornings, how you doing?
Morning, bunch of crap. It's your old buddy Cletus, man. Always good to call in. Nothing gets me up quite in the morning like a half-naked rhinoceros and a shield-toting fucking bald eagle from America. Anyway, guys, I got a couple of questions for you. This revolves around E3. Do you guys think E3 is going to be, filled with a lot of gobbledygook? In other words, is Microsoft going to bring out that, that freaking thingamajig, that watchamabobbit on you puts on your head, them glasses things that some people is raving about? Do you think that's going to be a big part of the show? And my second question, are you excited about more hillbilliness in Far Cry 5? That's my questions, guys. Have a great show, and I look forward to chatting with you soon.
Good calling. Hey, my rhinoceros don't need to wear pants, or so I'm told. So,
yeah, right. Yeah,
that's a J problem.
That is a J problem. I don't know.
What's a J problem? Wait a second now.
The rhino not wearing pants.
You know what? Rhinos, it's very hard to find pants that big. There's no big and small rhino store.
You got to go to the big and tall store.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I do in real life. I'm like, do you have any clothes for the big and fat gentleman? And they're like, yes, right in the back. And I'm like, okay.
What was Cletus's question?
I don't even know.
He goes, that bald eagle American thing. That was great. Shout out to Noof.
Yeah, Noof is great.
So good.
Well, no, his roommate Cletus.
Cletus is
as it
very
were.
Good, yes.
Yeah, as it were.
No, but get back to the TVs. Actually, someone Joseph posed a question to me, and I don't know how to answer it quite. He says LG or Sony in the OLED. I'm leaning towards LG. Sony's OLEDs that are out there, from what I'm hearing, and you got Colt Eastwood. Shout out to him; he's in the chat. Sony's they got a great product too for an OLED, but theirs is so much more expensive, and I don't know if you actually get the color quality that you're getting on the OLED from the LGs. That's just from people I've talked to. The one thing that I think I'm avoiding like the plague is the QLED. And not that there's anything wrong with it. So if you own it, it's a great TV. It's a great TV. But I think that's Samsung's attempt at trying to get into the OLED business, and it's kind of like the B version.
Yeah.
So I would, if you didn't buy a TV yet and someone's trying to talk you into a QLED, I'm not saying that's a bad move. It's not. It's just, to me, I think it's like, because they can't get the patent is still on. LG has a certain patent and Sony has a patent on OLED. So they have the rights to it. And Samsung's just trying to get into that market with this sidestep. And I don't think it hits home right.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not all that for all giant TVs anyway, especially if you're a competitive gamer. It's like watching a movie in the front row where you can't take in the whole screen. So, like, for me, like, I'm always torn in between, like, 40 and 50. Like, I don't want to do, like, that giant for gaming. Like, it doesn't work well for me if I do that. So
right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Just my bigger isn't always better. I know the ladies.
Go big or go
the ladies
home.
will agree with me on that, I'm sure.
Oh.
MSC Mornings, what's up?
Hi, Mooch and Craft. I'm Fury 1386 from Pakistan. I've been listening to show for a couple of years now. A huge fan of Craft. Huge fan of Mooch. My question to you guys is that do you guys think that 399 Scorpio is possible? And second,
Damn. Sounds like
We
something.
lost him.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
lost him. But yeah, 399 is very possible for Xbox Scorpio. I'm just going to go ahead and say that that's what I predict for that anyway. I think that's the one that makes the most sense. And if Microsoft
Well, you know
wants
what?
mass,
Crap. We got to talk about this. You know, people get tired of hearing the price thing, but the price thing's a big deal, isn't it? I mean, you got people calling in all the time. I mean, this thing's got to be $399.
yeah, it's got to be. I think I think the only thing that would make sense is $399. The more you think about it, the more it has to be that. You know, it has to be $399. I don't care that they were saying premium, because they've also said, hey, maybe we shouldn't be saying premium all the time.
Right.
Because look, the Xbox One S is going to get price cut down to $250. The PS4 Slim is going to be down to $250. They're going to drop the Pro down to most likely $350. And so we're going to have a console that's going to compete with that, right? Because they're saying dynamic 4K. So if their quote-unquote dynamic 4K console is $350, you have to get your console out there for a relatively similar price. Now, if they want to go all in and drop the fucking mic and just be like, ooh, here we go, then put it out for $350. They're Microsoft. They could do that. You know what I mean? I don't think they will. I think they're going to do $399. But if they really wanted to shake up the industry and quote-unquote win, then they could do a $349.
Yeah,
So.
you know, and I mean, here's the thing. If they want to do that crap, absolutely. There's no company in the world that could make that kind of choice like they can.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, do your reading, folks. Look at everything. I believe Nintendo, back in the day, sold all of their hardware, their actual consoles at a loss because they knew they were going to make all that money on software. Microsoft is much, much more interested in you using what? Mixer, Xbox Live, buying their first-party games, buying the games that they make contracts with, like, you know, the third-party deals. This is what they're going through. This is what they want you to get into, their ecosystem, okay? Play anywhere, blah, 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 blah. It goes on and on and on. So what does Microsoft care if they lose $50 to $60 a console? Now, listen, business-wise, you can be like, Mooch, you want to lose this kind of number? No, that number is huge. Microsoft doesn't want to lose that. But if I showed you, again, this is what I was saying during Xbox Nation and Crossfire. If you saw all the money they made on the back end, okay, all the software money, and then you deducted that minus of the hardware that they would be losing, you'd be like, wow, they still made a lot of money. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We just don't see that crap. You don't see the money they make off of Havoc. You don't see the money that they make off of Minecraft, right? You don't see this money coming in. And people only see the sexy stuff that's out there, right? Like the third-party marketing deals or the extra scarf you get in Destiny 2. You know, like
I can hardly wait to get that extra scarf. Come on.
Wait till you get the matching shoelaces. That
Yes.
Dude,
Woo! They
you know,
really pop in 4K.
It's crazy. People only see that and they're like, Microsoft's losing. That's not fair. I want the backwards baseball cap in Destiny. It's like, that's not what it's all about, people. You have to look at this. This is a big, big business. They didn't become number one, number two in the world because they lost out to the Destiny marketing rights. You know, I mean, come on.
I agree. Hey, over 500 watching. Hit that like button. We appreciate it.
Now, listen, I agree with you, but let me tell you why you're wrong. So great.
So far, you're the only one that's gotten any sound bites.
Yeah, and it's right after I speak, so it's almost like I'm looking around the room for an imposter of myself.
Yeah, can I get a rack 'em up or a como stas or
Rack 'em
something?
up.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
It's the
Como
best
stas, bitches.
So good. The rack 'em up is the best that you recorded too, crap.
Yeah, because I was just like,
Rack 'em up.
Rack 'em up. Yeah,
Oh,
rack 'em
angry.
up. Because we were doing really professional stuff. So, yeah, that's really absolutely funny. We appreciate you guys all coming out here. It's awesome. Who we got on deck?
we got another voicemail.
We've got Xbox Trigger.
Xbox Trigger on
Trigger.
deck.
Nice.
Hey, Mooch and Crappy J. This is Xbox Trigger from Twitter. And my question today is about advertising for Xbox. Now, I know, Mooch, you already said your piece about it, I already know your stance. But for me, when Xbox lost FIFA 18, that's one of the only games that helps them in Europe and the UK. And without that, like, even with Scorpio, Europe doesn't really like Xbox. So how do you think the sales going to be over this holiday? Because, man, I don't know, hopefully Microsoft marketing is really great this next couple of years. Because I don't even think Xbox could ever reach a PS4 now. Not outside of the States, of course. And this is actually a statement, but please stop arguing with Sony fanboys on Twitter because it's like arguing with a brick wall. They get you nowhere, get you aggravated, and then I know you show all this stupid stuff, but you already know they're pretty dumb. Well, Sony fanboys. Anyway, thanks. Bye.
Good call. You know what? The thing with the Sony fanboys things is I block them all. You know what I mean? Because it is difficult to, like, it'd be one thing if people could just admit, hey, you know, you got me there, or you're right there. Like, we could sit there and admit, hey, Microsoft messed up here, or that's wrong. But then when you look at the other side and they're not willing to do the same, that's really just a one-way street at that point, and so it's really pointless. What was his other question?
To be honest with you, that's the only part I caught. I think it was more the ad market. No, excuse me, I do have it here.
Oh, the marketing.
The marketing that he feels needs to reach beyond the U.S. Which I agree with him. You know, they're launching Xbox Scorpio, just so everybody knows, in China. Not going to just launch in the U.S. And that's it. It'll be U.S., U.K., a lot of the major countries, and then also featuring China, Brazil. The China and Brazil thing is massive. I think it's really going to you're going to see numbers kind of jump well beyond your expectations because of those two countries being added.
Yeah, you know, and again, this is the most powerful console ever, and games are going to look absolutely phenomenal on it. So again, like to my point earlier about price, do you really think they're going to take the time to launch it in all these mass markets if they weren't expecting to sell a lot of them or wanting to sell a lot of them? Like, to me, you just have to think. Microsoft is posturing by trying to get people to guess these insanely $700-800 price points for Scorpio. Why? Because when it comes in at $399, a lot of people are going to be shocked and eating crow. Yes. You know, a lot of people are going to be shocked and eating crow when this thing does 4K 60 on something like Battlefront 2, which not only have I heard that from multiple people, Jez Corden has heard that from multiple people as well. So when you see this, and I've heard this is a showpiece on the Xbox Scorpio, right? So, you know, Destiny was like this thing where they gave the Xbox Scorpio crap because it was only going to probably do 30 frames per second on that game, which isn't really the Scorpio's limitations at all, but more or less on the developers. But with a game like Battlefront 2 and that engine, man, that game is going to be awesome. You know, it's going to be using DirectX 12, which is another thing that we've kind of talked about in the past. And you know, it's going to be really great. It's going to be phenomenal. That's the game that people really are going to want to see, and we get that a week early. Same thing with FIFA. I get it. They lost the marketing rights. Maybe they're losing marketing rights to give us this console at a cheaper price point.Maybe they gave up marketing rights to give us games that we've been asking for, right? Like, you guys have to remember that this E3 and this Gamescom, we're going to get stuff for the future. Maybe this E3 in particular is going to be more focused around Scorpio and showing us Scorpio games, but I can imagine that throughout the year we'll hear more about other games coming in the future as well, and the games are going to look phenomenal on it. So I think that it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun time, and a lot of people are going to be eating crow, and I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I'm always looking forward to. I'm totally always looking forward to summer, but the fall, like whenever there's new hardware coming out on either console, it's like it's exciting, right? It's something new. You get to see some of the old games that you have going to be playing better. Some of the new games that are coming out, like raise your expectations on gaming for the current generation. It's a huge deal. So I'm just hoping Microsoft's able to put it together, and looking forward to the fall already. And we're not even in the summer yet.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what they do with that as well. So hopefully we can see more at E3, and they give people a lot of things to be excited about. I think they are. So I'm excited. But MNC Mornings, phone line's on fire. You guys are on fire today. How's it going?
Hey, Mooch. Hey, Crap. This is Michael, a.k.a. Stupies on Xbox Live. I totally agree with you, Mooch. If Microsoft wants to win, they could drop the price of the Xbox Scorpio to $299. Because, in my opinion, 80 million is a saturation point. After you sell 80 million console, it's time to move on to the next generation. And Sony's almost at 80. So if you want to catch them, you have to have a good price. Okay, later.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what? I don't blame all these callers for having price on their mind. It's going to dictate how well this thing does. That's the other thing. You know, we had the huge discussion on Xbox Nation and Crossfire about marketing rights and how to show games. If this thing is priced right, Crap, people are going to buy it regardless. You know, just because it's the right price for what they want to have in their home for gaming.
Yeah.
Not to mention anybody who has an Xbox One S I say S, okay, just because I think that's your highest trade-in value. You're going to get $200 for this thing, $175, something like that.
Yeah.
If it's $399, you're talking about walking out day one buyer, where everything is backwards and forwards compatible for $200 to have one of the strongest console on the market. That's a huge deal for people. You can't really say, well, I have an Xbox One S at home. I don't really feel like paying $400. You don't have to pay $400. Sign up day one, go get your $200 credit, and pay $200. Even if you wait 3 years, it won't even be $200. The PS4 is not even $200 yet, right? And we're 3 years in, so it's never going to get down that cheap. Trade it in because all your Xbox One games work day one.
Yeah, that's why I went on a buying spree. Like, I have no issues buying or even the remasters like I did earlier in the generation. For the fact that I know I'm going to be able to take that stuff with me. And there's some games I have, like Resident Evil 7. I might not even get around to playing that game till Scorpio comes out, which, guess what? That's a UWP game. That's going to be a 4K game on Scorpio. So, you know what I mean? Like, I'll have stuff to play. Like, Shadow of War is going to be a 4K game, which they delayed that right into the whole Scorpio thing. And I did a video on this yesterday. Here's the thing. The XDKs, which is a little bit technical, right? The certification process, they don't even allow that till October of this year. So if you have a game that's coming out on Scorpio or a patch, you can't get it certified till October of this year, which is interesting. So that means that you can literally put down when this thing will come out. It's going to have to come out between like October 10th and November 15th or 20th. You know what I mean? It's going to come out sometime in between there. So you can literally get it down. I know that might be, oh, well, we kind of guessed that anyway. But, again, you can also take the astrological signs into it as well, which it would be in between there as well, because maybe that's a big plan. Hey, let's release Scorpio during the sign of Scorpio. Like, brilliant. You know what I mean? Like, to me, I just think you want to get it out there as quickly as possible. You want to get it out there in time to play Battlefront and Assassin's Creed and all these games. So, the price point really is a telling factor. If they get this thing out there, I know $449, which I've never heard of a console launching at a mid price point like that. So you're either going to get $399 or $499 in my opinion.
Right.
But at $499, this thing is DOA.
Yeah, if it's $499, you'll get some of the ridiculous hardcore to go grab it. But
we'll grab it.
Yeah, we'll get it. But that's not what Microsoft's not counting on that. You know what I mean? If you open up a bar, you have all your friends that are like, I'm going to come drink at your bar now. Like, you don't open up and have your business plan and being like, well, my friends are all coming, so I should be thriving. No, you have your friends coming to drink at your bar is probably actually going to be a deduction. You're probably going to lose money on them because they're all going to want free drinks. But my point being is that you have to have the mass public has to want this product. And if it's not $399, it's just not going to hit the mass appeal. It's not.
Yeah, I agree 100%, and they want to. The only reason, and think about this, please. I know a lot of people think I'm an idiot or whatever, but use your heads on this. The only reason you're going to mass launch this thing in places like China, in Brazil, in all these places at the same time as you do in America is because you want to sell this thing. You want to get this thing out to as many people as possible. When you look at the original Xbox One when it launched, they launched only in 13 territories or something like that. It was really a low number. Right, while Sony was in like 50 or something right from the beginning.
Yeah, it was like
Microsoft is mass launching Scorpio. You don't do that for a quote unquote niche thing, right? That's not what you do. This thing is marketing and it's meant to be this big product. They're making a big push for it. The fact that they're releasing it in all these different territories tells me that, and that is something that people should be excited about and think about. Yeah, sure, they've swerved some people by calling it, you know what I mean, by calling it a premium product and things like that. But at the end of the day, they want to sell this. This is their thing. This is the thing that they're gonna, this is gonna make or break the Xbox line for the next couple of years. So you definitely need to get this thing out at a reasonable price point. And they don't make money on the hardware anyway. People don't understand that. It's never about the hardware. They never make hardware money on hardware. You just don't. They make the money on the software and the services. And Microsoft continues to do that in a very good way. You know, like they have a lot of people
That's why Microsoft's
paying.
turned its attention to things like Havoc, and that's why they keep reporting on the Xbox Live. It's funny. It's not as sexy as the console sales. It's not. It doesn't make headlines.
Yeah.
But it's where the money is.
We make fun of it, in fact.
Yeah, we do, but I mean, it's kind of it's Microsoft's new MO. That's where they're making the money. You have to look at whether, no matter which console you're talking about right now. We're talking about Xbox One S or the PS4. Maybe when one's sold, they're making between $20 and $35 a console. I mean, they're making a full net profit of $60 a person on Xbox Live. You know what I mean? Like that costs nothing. Here's
the real money is Xbox Live. Yeah, they're making like $2-3 billion a year off that.
Yeah, just about $3 billion a year off Xbox Live. That's where the money's coming in. The 20, you know, I mean, you have like 10 million, 15 million, 20 million consoles being sold at $20. Yes, that's good money, but that's a one-time fee, right? Once you buy that and go home with it, that box you bought, you plug it in. They don't make any more money unless you buy software or get on their online service. Yeah. So that's why they care about the continuation. That's why Netflix, it's a monthly fee. It's a monthly fee. You want to get people on monthly fees. That's what everything is based off of nowadays. So you get the gym memberships. Why don't gyms just disappear like TCBYs do? You know why? Because you pay $10, $15, $20 a month and never go. And they keep getting your money every single month, whether you're there to lift a weight or not. And it's the same thing. Okay, lifting weights, running on a treadmill, very little wear and tear on their machinery, yet you're paying this monthly charge. Microsoft being on Xbox Live when you kick on costs them no more than whether you're there or not, and they just make an extra $60 a year. They make 100% profit on something like that at this point.
I agree 100%. J-Dubs, we do have a new thing that me and Mooch haven't seen yet. Is that what you wanted to kind of roll?
Basically, yes. So I just want to let everyone know that Mooch and Crab has been entering new markets. And we want people to see some of the new things that we're working on, and we hope you all enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy this, guys. I haven't seen it yet, so
neither have I.
Hopefully it's good.
Mooch and crap. They talk about games and no drama smack. Search the web for media ties to catch these ponies in their lives. Look out, here comes Mooch and Crab. Are they bots? Listen up. They have Mountain Dew in their blood. NeoGaf, Xbox Reds, Crap's got 10 dog all over it. Hey there, here comes Mooch and Crab. From a tweet of Phil, Xbox hate will arrive like the Scorpio. Mooch and Crab are just in time. Mooch and crap. Zany gaming duel, Mooch and crap. YouTube game is their core. A thumbnail is its reward to them. Xbox is one big hangout. Whenever there's a game out, you'll find Mooch and crap.
Great ad. Oh, man. Wow. The talent in the Xbox community. Shout out to Live. Nice work, Live.
Livewire did a really, really great job.
I love our logos just flying all over the screen. Wonderful. So good.
That was amazing. I think. Yeah, that was really good, man. I gotta say, man, thank you. And Jay, did you do the animations?
Well, no, but I sent him the graphics.
Okay.
So basically, how it worked, you know, I approached him about doing the songs. I had some lyrics already for the song, and I sent it all to Livewires.
Yeah.
And said, you know, if you need any help with that, he basically took what I gave him and blew it up. It was amazing what he did. So
yeah, that was.
And he sent me the first draft, and the first draft had a few of the blurry graphics. So I sent him some high quality ones, and he put it all together himself. He's a really big talent, like especially in video editing.
Yeah,
the guy's amazing.
Yeah, definitely good job. Thank you, Livewires. That was awesome. We really appreciate that. Love the bits, man. People really they get really excited when we do those bits, man. It's
so good.
It is really good. Just so you guys know, when we get to 300 likes, we'll do the top 10. We're at 260. We got 560 plus watching us right now, so
which is fantastic.
That is. I mean, it's a Sunday morning, and here you guys are out here supporting us. It's a big show. It's going to be a big week. I can tell you right now, it's going to be a fantastic week.
Yeah.
So we really appreciate everybody coming out and supporting us and things like that. J-Dubs, I know we got quite a bit of voicemail still, so let's go ahead and get one of those taken care of.
Okay, we've got Triple Cup Chuck.
Oh, love it. Love Triple Cup Chuck. One of the best.
What up with your crap and Mooch and Jay Williams? This your boy Triple Cup Chuck, and I'm up. And I know everybody been talking about E3, their E3 prediction, the Scorpio, what the Scorpio gonna look like, what games they gonna have for the Scorpio, the name of it's gonna be, and when it's gonna come out. Well, I want to hit y'all with something from way left field. Okay, I want to talk about Nintendo. Hold on, so look, be cool. Just be cool for a second. Just chill. Okay, this is gonna be something that's gonna be different, but it's the same because y'all have talked about this before, but y'all haven't talked about this like this here. Okay, who y'all think had the worst pronunciation of the name Mario? I would love to hear y'all answers. Well, this your boy Triple Cup Chuck, and I'm out.
Who has the worst pronunciation of the word Mario? I think Next Gen, She-Wolf.
She-Wolf's up there. Next gen, you have the Mario.
Yeah, Mario. It's like,
It's like
as an
there's
Italian,
like 8 A's. It's Mario.
Mario. Yeah, like,
and I think wasn't it Noof that one time explained it, because us Canadian, like especially all the Canadians who mispronounce it, we grew up with the hockey player Mario Lemieux, and that's how we kept hearing it. So we always assumed that's how it was pronounced. But
that is a good point because you guys do like your hockey, but but
well, I
it's
mean, they like their
Mario.
hockey, but over here in the United States, we also heard of Mario Lemieux, and he was Mario Lemieux.
He's
so like
Mario.
nobody, Mario. I'm just saying because I mean, there's very, very few people. You got to go back to its originality, right? You know, Mario. You say it's Italian. The A, you know, I don't believe anybody from Italy will ever tell you A is pronounced ma. Nobody's doing ma in Italy. It's ma.
Yeah.
Right. So it's Mario. I don't know, man. I'm telling you. I think it's a misconception, but it's so funny to hear people say it because it makes it more cartoony.
Yep, exactly. So like Z says it too. He's like Mario, and it's like you just kind of scratch your head a bit. You're like Mario, man. That is like I don't know. Just as an Italian, when you hear someone pronounce it like that, it's just weird. If my name was Mario and people were calling me Mario, I'd be like, I don't know, like smack them or something because like that would be annoying.
You know, growing up in the east coast of Canada, when we were in elementary school, taught the alphabet. The letter H was pronounced H, very much like it is in Britain, and you know, it's just a dialect, right? It's just the way that we were told how
That's
it
true.
is. And so,
yeah. Well, I think you know, I don't know. Just as an Italian and American, I think that Mario is the way it's supposed to be said.
It just sounds better, but it is funny to hear people say Mario. It is
Mario.
It
yeah.
does crack me up when I hear that.
Good call, Chuck. As we grow closer to that 300 like mark, when we can hit the top 10, do we have another voicemail that we can get to before that point, J Dubs?
yes, we do. We have Luca from
On the second floor.
Hey Mooch, Crap, J-Dubs, Luca here. Hope you guys are having a fantastic morning, because I sure am. Well, probably. Most likely. Well, either way, I hope you guys are having a nice morning. So, my question is, when you guys think of the word community, what is the first image that comes to mind? Now, this may seem like a random question, but I think that considering the amount of negativity that's been brewing in the Xbox community as of late, that we should try to focus on positive aspects of our community. When I think of the Xbox community, I think of all the friends that I've met and the bonds that have been forged. I have become very close with so many really great people, and I will forever be grateful that I am a part of this community, despite the bothersome hiccups every now and then. Yeah, not your usual question for me, but just curious. When you think of community, first image that comes to mind. Alright guys, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye!
Well, I mean, look, the Xbox community is pretty good for the most part. There are, you know, people like in general have ups and downs, and you know, that can be the way with any community. But I think for the most part, the community tries to help each other out as much as possible, and it's easy to get you know, get down or sometimes or whatever.
Right.
So you know, I think that at the end of the day they're good at the core, and it just, to me, it just I guess friendship or whatever community means, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that community for myself personally is the coming together to help everybody. You know, a lot of people continue to show up in chats on everybody's show. Everybody either tunes in if they can live, or if not, they listen to it later. Promoting each person's podcast and what they each want to do creatively to make a better show. And then to be honest with you, I can't speak for everyone, but as you get older and like you're working this net, it's harder to just meet up like you did when you were younger with buddies that were in college or whatever and just game with all those people. Now you have a community of people that are always online and always wanting to jam out and play, whether it be Madden or Call of Duty, or it could be Souls, or it could be, whatever. It could be Friday the 13th, whatever you want to do. There's a bunch of people that want to help you stream, want to help you do better. There's a lot of people also. Let's not just talk about the content creators. Let's talk about the people that show up. Okay, all you guys that are amazing in the audience right now, all the people that donate, all the people that help with Patreon, all the people that help with StreamJar. Okay,
Yeah.
all of you are the community, and that's one thing that we always say when we stress this show. This show isn't just about Mooch, Crap, and J-Dubs. This is about the community. You guys all come together. This all happens because of you. Okay, the 550 people in this room right now that are listening live, you're the reason we're doing this. Otherwise we could just turn on a game and the three of us could talk on Xbox Live.
Yeah.
So when I think of community, I think of the content creators, I think of the audience, I think of the donation folks, I think of the people that help in the Patreon. You're all part of this great community.
You remind me a bit of Vince Vaughn in Wedding Crashers when he's talking to the redhead about what everything is. It's
Yeah.
me, it's you, it's that person.
It's that person.
I mean, that's what you reminded me of. But
People
yeah,
always say that.
like that's
People always say that.
that's
In
funny.
real life, they're like, you're like Vince Vaughn. Yeah, no, it's hysterical. But I mean, realistically, that's what I think of Luke. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, absolutely. And great call, by the way. Deep thoughts with Luca.
Well, it was really cool. Look at True Racer in the chat right now. He says, Moochie Crap is why I chose to start podcasting. Like, first of all, True, thank you for that. Second of all, let me just say this. You're not the first person to say that. And that's what kind of gives us the motivation to keep doing these shows.
He's doing a podcast with Noof Nukem.
Noof
after the show.
Yeah, so stay tuned,
good,
everybody.
Good luck on that. I'll retweet it so you guys can can check it out. It's always
We'll
good to
promote it
support
for
some
sure.
people. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, just when we were about to get into something. Yeah. Oh, it's fine. M&C Mornings. How you
M&C
doing?
Mornings.
Good morning. Howdy. Hello.
Come on down.
¿Cómo estás?
¿Cómo estás?
Moshi moshi.
Jay, do we have a caller?
Jay!
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Gerard. Good show. And listen to you all the time. One of the issues that I have with Microsoft is that they don't promote their games right. They don't promote their system right. Anytime when you go into a GameStop store, it seems like everything is Sony. Even when Sony get exclusive rights to games, Sony is good at marketing. They make you feel like it's that game. I mean, it's their game. So what I want to ask y'all is, what do y'all think Microsoft should do as far as with their marketing? Because Sony is very, very good at it. And because of that, I think that's one of the reasons why they're winning. And even though I'm a Microsoft guy, but Sony is winning because they are very, very good at marketing. And they're taking very, very good advantage of it. And I don't think Microsoft is really doing anything about it. So that's my opinion. Thanks, guys. All right.
Well, Crap, I want to answer his question and say that first of all, this is not rocket science, people. If I was in charge of marketing, all you really have to do is pick up the phone a couple of times. Yes, if you want to give Sony credit for their commercials, that's different. That's a creative genius that kind of has to go in there and create this commercial. Like, the Taco Bell commercials they did, get the gold PS4, blah, blah, blah. They did all these things. That's where you say creatively, I hear you. But when you say the marketing deal with, like, GameStop, that's just like at this point, that's a phone call. And you're like, hey, I'm sending you a bunch of cardboard cutouts and a lot of blue posters. I don't think that's genius anymore. Not to mention what they're doing is, I mean, it's hard to say because it does seem like a lot of GameStop employees are all pro Sony. But I don't think I don't know if that's pushed down by corporate or if that's just, people's preferences coming out.
You know what they could do to better promote their games is promote your games. Like
yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly.
Promote them.
Like Microsoft's just not doing anything.
Yeah, just like promote the games. That's all you need to do.
Yeah,
promote them. That's all. That's all. Like that's what they need to do. Absolutely.
Sony's not doing anything revolutionary. They're just actually promoting the game. People are like, "Wow, that's genius." Sony's actually talking about the game. That's not genius. It's like it's been done before.
Yeah.
It's just that Microsoft's doing nothing. You're seeing something versus nothing.
Yeah,
and
and
something always wins
and it
over
looked-
nothing.
Exactly. J-Dubs, do we got the top 10? Can we roll that?
Yes, we do. Just give me 5 seconds.
Well, you know, it's funny. Somebody in the chat was like, you know, and Marcello, I agree with you, buddy. It's not damage controlling at all. I agree with you. Like, Sony is winning the marketing. You know, how do you argue with somebody that says, well, Sony's putting out commercials and they've got all these ads everywhere, and Microsoft's not doing anything but word of mouth? Well, you're right. I mean, Sony's definitely killing it in that department. There's no doubt.
Absolutely, 100% agree. You ready to roll that, J-Dubs?
Top 10's ready to go.
Let's go.
Let's do this top 10. It's a great top 10.
It is. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the M&C Mornings Top 10 Countdown. Today, we're going to do the top 10 bold E3 predictions since E3 is right around the corner. And I'm going to kick things off with number 10. Yoshida will come out on stage and actually announce a release date for a game. Believe it. It's going to happen.
Book it.
Yep.
That's great crap. Number 9, Sean Layden will ditch the extra small t-shirt look for a small men's romper featuring Crash Bandicoot on his back.
Number 8, they'll bring Yu Suzuki back on stage and try to get a Kickstarter going for Shenmue 4, since it's obvious Shenmue 3 isn't happening.
Nice. Perfect crap. Number 7, Jeff Keighley will break all of Las Vegas's odds and awkwardly glare at Kojima over 55 times during the Death Stranding presentation.
Number 6, Phil Spencer will come out on stage riding a giant scorpion to the music of the band, the Scorpions. Lock it in. I'd love to see that, actually.
I'd pay to see that.
Yeah.
Number 5, Xbox Scorpio will be renamed as the Xbox We Told You We Could Do That 4K, so take that and shove it, Kotaku and GameSpot.
Number 4, Sony will announce the Vita 2 and then promptly announce that they've dropped support for the Vita 2.
Beautiful. So Sony. That's so Sony.
Yeah.
We should start that slogan. Number 3, Sony will end its E3 show this year, but with a special song by the great Willie Nelson titled Broken Promises. It's actually one of his songs.
I know. Number 2, Microsoft will lose marketing rights to Halo 6 to Sony.
That's so Sony.
I know.
And number 1, Sony going 24 hours after Microsoft's presentation will ensure they have plenty of time to take something out of the box to lower the price so you, the consumer, can buy it separately later and yet still look like the heroes of E3.
It always happens. It'll be guaranteed to happen.
How Sony does business.
Yes, exactly. So hopefully you guys enjoyed our top 10 countdown, and if you guys ever have an idea for us, you can go ahead and send us a message. Preferably send it to J-Dubs on Twitter, and it'll get back to us. So thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you next time. Have a great day.
That's all great. That was a fantastic top 10 crap. I love how we put that together. Pretty much right before the show.
Literally, like, me and Mooch are like at like 9:05 a.m. We're like, we got to do the top 10. And then so we came out with that. And yeah, so like it wasn't as well produced as normally with some sound effects and stuff, but I thought it was funny as hell.
That's so great. So great. And I love how we started a new hashtag. That's so Sony.
Yeah,
right?
that's so Sony. Yeah. Like, so that one was more of a zinger type top 10. So
well,
hopefully...
speaking of last minute, right? I mean, let's be honest. This entire generation's like unbalanced sales happened because of what happened originally at E3 in 2013. Sony took everything out of the box. Like, take that camera out of the box. No, take that out of the box too. No, we don't need all that plastic. No, we don't have to cover the controller, actually. Take it all out. We can do this thing for $100 cheaper. And that's what's funny, because I'm wondering, as much as we scrambled for this top 10 today, crap, which was great, by the way, I'm wondering if Sony's like, we don't have to do anything for E3. We're just going to wait till Microsoft's done on Sunday, and then we're just going to say the opposite. It's almost like when you're last and the price is right, and your actual guess is $1 less than everybody else's, and you win both showcase showdowns. You know what I mean? It's like, so Microsoft's going to get up there and be like $399, and they're going to be like, don't worry, we're $398, and then all of a sudden you've got the ghost of Bob Barker comes on. And
he's not dead though. He's
not dead, but his spirit still lives under Drew Carey. But I'm telling you, that's all they do is they always do $1 less and they win both showcase showdowns.
Yeah.
So that's Sony's method, folks. In case you're wondering.
Yeah.
God, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that was. I agree. Top 10 was funny though. I do.
Top 10.
Like, you know what's funny was I'm sitting there laughing like in the top 10 while I'm laughing. Like I had my mic muted though. I was like, that shit's funny. So you definitely know that it's a good one when we were sitting there laughing. Not only that, but we didn't run past each other which numbers we had. Like I do 5 and you do 5, and one of mine was almost the same as yours. So like in the middle of like doing them, like I just came up with that one of them like just off the cuff. I was just like, oh yeah, the Vita one. Like they'll announce the Vita 2 and then immediately announce that they've dropped support on Vita 2. So I mean that is so Sony. Trust me.
So Sony. No, that's great. That's great. Jay, do we have another voicemail? We've gotten so many great calls that I haven't kept track. I usually keep track of how many we have left.
J-Dubs is probably dealing with a phone call or something. So
Is he?
Yeah, he's muted.
Well, that maybe he stepped away for a moment.
Yeah, maybe he's taking a piss or something. Like even Canadians have to pee sometimes.
So if we could just get Jay, wouldn't that be great?
Yeah. You see what happens when J-Dubs walks away for a minute.
The show completely loses its third and fourth wheel.
Yeah.
No, that's great. No, I do think crap that.
Sorry about that, guys. I actually had a live call here, and I'm not sure why my mic was muted. And I was trying to ring in the live caller.
Is he with us still?
He's with us right now. So
okay, great. Let's take the live caller. Always go for a live caller.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so this is Steven.
What's up, Mooch and Crap? Nice to see you guys again. Doing your stream. Just want to say I love what you guys do. Mooch, just want to let you know I'm from New York as well. So, shout out to you for that. Crap, love you. Love what you do. I love your videos. Both of you are funny. Okay, now, this is our price for Project Scorpio. You guys might think otherwise, but the way I see it is this. I personally think they might do the Xbox One S approach, where they have different prices based on the hard drive size. So, for example, Scorpio at 500 gigabytes could be $250 or something, or the 1 terabyte could be $399, and then the 1 terabyte could be maybe $450, and then if they want to do a 3 terabyte, maybe they could do that at 500. You know what I mean? So that's the route I think that they could go with, and I'm hoping they go with, because that would be a smart move. Because again, it goes back to what they were saying about delivering more choice for what they do with their fans. So just wanted to point that out, and just tell me what you guys think about that approach. And if you guys have anything else to say about that, just feel free to talk. And look, just want to say I love what you guys do. And I'm sorry if I'm kind of jumping here and there about topics. This is my first time calling in. So, but yeah, just want to say thank you for what you guys do. Love you guys. Keep on rocking. Bye.
Keep on rocking.
Yeah, listen,
we'll keep on rocking.
Keep calling, man. That was great. And yeah, shout out to all the folks that live East Coast. If we could please get something on the East Coast, it'd be nice. I like how somebody tweeted me one time. I guess they were doing like a midnight launch of some stupid like Microsoft event. It was nothing like big at all, and they're like, look, this is in New York. I'm like, they're giving away a printer cable. Who cares? I mean, we want something like E3 over here in New York, for God's sake. But anyways, no, shout out to my boy who just called. That was cool. I do think you're going to see that, though, Crap. I think you're going to see it's a couple different price tags. Why not? They can have a cheaper one.
You won't see a 500 gig, though, because that
No.
Yeah, you'll see a 1 terabyte for the $399, and
then maybe a 2 terabyte at $499 or something like that.
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
you'll
then
see
they
a
can make their money
$499.
up.
Yeah, you'll see a $499 one, but for people like us, I already have all these external hard drives. You know what I mean? And I don't even have anything on the internal on my main Xbox One right now. So I'm just gonna unplug it and put it in the Scorpio, and I'm going to be good to go. Like, that's how it's going to be. So you will see probably a couple different price points. But yeah, that's definitely no 500 gigs. The reason why is because these games take up so much space now. Look at Gears 4, right?
Yeah.
I believe on Xbox One that's already approaching 100 gigs, and they're getting a big update this week.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, that's
the thing. We keep demanding more as gamers, but then we're like, oh my god, I don't want to buy the external. You're gonna have to buy an external hard drive, people. Like Crap just said it to you. 100 gigs for one game. And I mean, I do like to bring Crap back to reality every once in a while. Crap has to realize that a lot of the people that we surround ourselves with every day are the hardcore gamers. They're buying games every single week. There's a new game that comes out every week, and people are buying games every week that we know. But the actual average consumer, even if they consider themselves semi-hardcore, Crap, are only buying 6-7 games a year.
Yeah.
So for them, you know,
but I got to tell you, with stuff like EA Access and Game Pass, that's kind of irrelevant now. Game Pass is marketed towards casuals. And
yeah, but they can download and you know, delete as they want or as they finish a game. They don't need to download all the, you know, all 100 games.
Yeah. So well, yeah, they don't. But look, here's the funny thing. I got Game Pass. I wanted to try it out, right? And it's really cool. Like, it's super easy to use. I can imagine this being something that a lot of people get into. The main thing is, but look, the reason why they won't do a 500 gigs, because even if you get the mainstays like Gears and Halo, that's like 200 gigs of space. And there's already, like, even on a 1 terabyte, some of that is used for the OS and resources. So you never even get that. Like, on the launch Xbox Ones, they were 500 gigs, but you only got like 300 and something gigs.
Right.
You know? So, yeah, that's that's to me, like, you know, get the externals. They're fine. Like, I think that's the thought. The 1 terabyte will be the cheapest, $399, and that makes the most sense to me. So.
Right. That, my friend, is a you problem. It really
Exactly.
is. You know, it really is. At this point, you have to decide whether you want to spend the $70 for a 2 terabyte external extra, or you want. But you know what, though, Crap? Listen, a 2 terabyte external, okay, is probably around $70, right?
Yeah.
So if that's the case, let's like break it down for a second. You can get the let's say there's a $499 2 terabyte. Is it that crazy for the person to go grab that and it's all internal and you don't have to worry about it? I mean, you do end up with a little bit more space getting the external on your own because you'll end up with 3 total. But I mean, some people just go, I don't want the nonsense. I don't want to worry about it.
That'll be good for those people, I think. But for
Right.
somebody like me who has, like, by the time that thing comes out, I'll probably have another at least 5 terabyte.
Is that J-Dubs
external.
playing the presidential inauguration celebration behind us? somebody's playing the Rose Bowl parade. I don't know who that is.
You've got some bad ears, dude. I tell you what, man.
Did you hear that?
I did hear it a little bit, but I don't.
Yeah. So, because I'm talking and I'm like, wait a minute, who's introducing FDR later on? Anyway, yeah, no, I think I see myself personally. The reason I opted for the Gears of War console is because I like that it had the 2 terabytes baked in. You know what I mean? I just like that. It's no nonsense. It was also my alternate Xbox. So, like, I download stuff there just whenever I want to play something random. I don't care what that fills up. Jago in the chat goes, I heard it too. I'm glad I wasn't the only one waving an American flag over my head while I was talking. But yeah, so it is what it is. I don't know. I know I may get an external for Scorpio though. And if I do, I'm going to go big because these games are going to be big boy, gigs. So I think you're talking about, I'd like to grab a 4 or a 5. I currently have a 3 terabyte external hooked up to my 1, and then I have a 2 terabyte downstairs. So I've got plenty of room right now. I have no issues with room, and I delete things when I'm not playing them.
Yeah. Well, I don't delete everything. I do have some things that are deleted, but for the most part, I like to keep all the games there just in case. You never know when you're going to get a hankering to kind of play something. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, definitely. J-Dubs, who we got on deck?
We have Clutchman01.
Clutchman 01.
What's up, Mooch and Crap? This is Clutchman01. Been listening to past few podcasts these past couple weeks, and it seems like once Sony got these marketing deals, everybody just got amnesia and started flipping out. So I'm here to basically refresh everybody's memory as to how Microsoft has invested back into the gamers. So buckle in. I'll try to make it quick. First, they have constantly maintained and improved the Xbox Live. The ad When It Matters definitely spoke to that. They've introduced Beam, now Mixer, which showcases innovation in streaming with sub-second latency. They've given us Looking for Group, Arena, Tournaments, and crystal clear chat. Second, the Elite Controller. Enough said. Third, the redesigned Xbox One S, smaller, sleeker, with an internal power supply, an improved standard controller, 4K Blu-ray player with 4K upscaling on games, and 4K streaming and HDR support. 4, hundreds of back-compat games. 5, Game Pass. 6, Design Lab. 7, Scorpio, the most powerful console to date by far for 4K and 1080p TV owners. Next are games: Halo Wars 2, Gears of War 4, Forza Motorsport 5 and 6, Forza Horizon 2 and 3, Tomb Raider, exclusive to get Xbox for a year, Rise, Sunset Overdrive, Halo 5, Rare Replay, Quantum Break, Killer Instinct, Recore, and Fable Legends of Scalebound being canceled. Sounds like it was a studio problem, so we're just going to move on to the next 9. Soon we'll be getting Sea of Thieves, Shadow of War, Crackdown 3, State of Decay 2, Forza 7, Fable possibly, and if I missed any, definitely clue me back in. 10, all those multi-plat games that people got third-party deals on will perform best on Scorpio, period. Now, in my humble opinion, Xbox has been pretty busy saving this Titanic of an Xbox and all its passengers these past couple years. So, with all of this and a ton of stuff I purposely left out, what else does Xbox need to prove to let us know that they are truly for the gamers? Thanks, guys.
Well, that was awesome. I mean, he did give a good rundown. I think people need to be aware of what he was talking about because Microsoft has done a lot.
Yeah, we're happy to have the Mooch and Crap and Clutchman 01 show as well for that like 10 minutes there. Good points, though. I like the points that he raised for sure.
I do
Microsoft is doing a lot of stuff, and they're giving us a lot of stuff. Let's be honest here. And I was talking about this with Mooch before. There's this, and I did a video on this that went live at like 1 a.m. last night. There was a review for Phantom Dust, right? And the reviewer starts off. You can give Phantom Dust a bad review. I'm perfectly fine with that. Which, by the way, he gave it a 2.5 out of 10. Which to me, a 2.5 would be a completely broken game. Not a game that you don't like, but a completely broken game. You know, you couldn't play it. But he starts off with the review by just basically putting down Xbox and saying it has no games, and and does that. So that is a bit of a problem. Like, you're gonna have to win those people over as well, which that may never happen. But winning the hardcore fans is also definitely something that has to happen. So the price point plays a lot into it, and the games and how they look and run has a lot to do with it. Because if Digital Foundry's given the Scorpio the win on every single game, that's hard to ignore.
Yeah, in short, I'll just agree with what Crap said, and I will double agree on the price. Price has to be on point.
Exactly. M&C Mornings, how you doing?
Hey, Mooch and Crap, what's up? This is Eric, first-time caller. I saw that runaway pony there. I don't know if you guys touched on this today or not. The Sega-Microsoft partnership. I just want to know what you guys think about that. I'm thinking maybe it has something to do with the Xbox Game Pass. Maybe we'll see like old-school Sega games like, Jet Set Radio or Panzer Dragoon show up. Like, maybe they'll have like a whole list of Sega games on Game Pass. Or do you even think that Sega is going to be developing like exclusive games for Xbox and Xbox Scorpio? That's it. So I just want to know, your thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Bye. Have a good one.
Good call. Yeah, I think that it could be anything. You could have some exclusive content. Like Sega they bought new developers. So they could have people developing stuff just for Microsoft, because Microsoft is in need of second-party developers. Microsoft is also in need of Japanese developers. So this is something they could facilitate both of those needs. So yeah, I think that would be something that they could announce and things like that. So what about you?
My whole thing is this, though, Crap. To be honest with you, I think that I'm going to go ahead and reserve my expectations because I think that I usually get excited when I see this in print. I'm like, oh, this is the way we have to go. This is going to be huge. Sega's going to help. My thing is this: I just don't have this firm believing that Sega is going to give exclusive rights to Microsoft. I think they're going to work hand in hand. I do think that maybe you'll see. I want to see a game from the ground up in Sega's IP closet of unused games, like be brought back and exclusive for an Xbox Scorpio release. It's not. I don't think that's going to happen. I think you're going to see some collaboration, but it's not going to be anything big. Now, I hope to God I'm wrong because I know you've said you actually think that there will be, and I think that. I hope I'm dead wrong here, but I usually get excited about this stuff and then nothing ever happens. So I'm going to actually look at the glass half empty this time because I think this Sega Microsoft thing is more of like a team building exercise to get Sega games back out there, but then they'll end up on the PS4 same day and time and release date. So I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's my take on it. It's not to be Debbie Downer. I just think that Sega wouldn't exclude Sony moving forward. Right, and I mean,
well, look, like this is you would think that, right? But Sega actually also they did Sonic games exclusively on Wii and and Wii U, so that's their biggest franchise.
True. That is
and
true.
They did Bayonetta exclusively on the Wii U as well. So I think it all comes down to them wanting to get these games out. So you never know if Microsoft is willing to say, hey, we're going to invest, or it could be Microsoft wants a developer that Sega owns to do an exclusive that Microsoft owns. Like, we don't exactly know exactly what's going on right yet, so it's kind of best to kind of hold off and wait and see. This could be something that we see at E3 as far as like a surprise. I think that would be.
Well, if it is a surprise, it's got to be more than just the head of Sega and Phil coming out and shaking hands. You know what I mean? And exchanging a large check. Like they won a PGA tour. They have to actually come out and they have to show a game and be like, and this is what we're bringing. You know what I mean? and then show a game.
Yeah.
And if they don't do that, it just doesn't transpire well to the audience, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
What's going on?
Well, I was just laughing at something that I saw on Twitter.
Oh, all right.
Sorry, I got like multiple screens open.
Yeah, I was just saying, so do I, and that's why I'm wondering when you chuckle like that. I'm looking at the notes, I'm looking at the chat, I'm looking at Twitter, and I'm like,
hey, so that guy did win something. He won a game that was donated by Triple Cup Chuck. What game was that, J-Dubs?
That's a really great question.
Matrico, I think it is.
Speaking of that, there's an indie game that came out this week. What is it called? Tokyo 42 or something like that? Tokyo 43. Have you seen that crap? Is anybody onto that?
I think Rand might have did a video about it, of course.
I watched Rand's. Yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
And I thought it was
I just want to confirm
good.
that, yes, the game is Matrico.
Okay, good stuff.
Okay, cool. Well, congratulations to the winner.
Yeah, everybody's a winner when you see the pony come across the screen.
It's true. It is true.
We're all winners.
We're all winners in that category. Any last minute ideas, crap, that you think are predictions that we can see that maybe the audience is unaware of, that even if it's just pie in the sky stuff that E3 will present on Microsoft's stage?
I think that we're gonna see maybe something from Deck 13. They have a multi game deal. Sega could have something. There is some surprises. So I know that is something that's going on. That we'll definitely see some of that. We might even see something that's a little more than a year away. That they're going to show off, because I think Microsoft is well aware that people want to see a little better roadmap to what to expect. Because when you're buying a new console like Scorpio, right? You want to know that you're going to be around and there's going to be some games to get for it down the road. And I think that's what Microsoft has to kind of show off as well.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah. So
are you saying that Microsoft is supporting the developers?
Yes, they're supporting developers, my friend. They love developers.
Developers. Yes.
Oh God, the clapping in the back is just.
Yes,
God, that's good.
Like J-Dubs comes in there with that. Like I knew where he was going with it. That's like developers. Did you know where he was going with that, Mooch?
Yeah, well, I'm the one that. Well, Jay missed the cue earlier. You were saying developers like 8 times in a row, and I'm like, Jay, hit the developers, hit the developers. When you were doing the whole Sega thing.
Yeah.
No, but what I was going to say to you was, someone brought something up in the chat that I want to talk about, and that's the Elite Controller. Let's call it the 2.0.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something. Listen, this is something during E3 week. When they have all those shows every night on Xbox Live with Major Nelson. I think this is going to be one of those great side shows. But I'm excited to see a revised Elite Controller. Right? Take something that's already great and kind of just make you can always tweak something and make it greater. So I'm pretty excited. I'll tell you right now, I'm in the market for another Elite Controller. So if that happens, I would be buying it.
Yeah, I think that there would be only minor changes to it if they do come up with one.
Yes. Don't expect anything major.
Yeah. So while we have still over 500 watching us, man, hit that like button. Let's go. Yeah,
absolutely. And Jay, do we have another voicemail? I couldn't remember if that was our last one or not.
No, we actually have 2 more. So
okay.
I've got Jack Jackal on deck.
Well,
all right, Jack Jackal.
Sub Mooch and Crab, sub J-Dubs. This is your fan, Jack Jackal from a faraway land. I have a question this time. But before that, I just want you guys to know that, especially Mooch, since you are a fan of The Walking Dead, I actually have my own Lucille, where I beat the pony fanboys when they go crazy. Not the normal fans, just the fanboys. Because they are, normal fans are okay, but only the crazy ones needs to be beaten. Anyway, okay. Now, so with the question.
Just jokes, folks.
Imagine if you guys are in charge of showing the Xbox Scorpio at E3. How would you show it? Will it be at the beginning? Will it be at the end? Maybe showing the price at the end or something? Or maybe start with it. Anyway, I want to tell you guys my own version of showing Xbox Scorpio. Phil will start showing it at first, and then will tell the world that everything is showing will be on Xbox Scorpio. At the end of the show, they will talk about the price. Imagine with me, where Phil talk about when they started aiming at more than 1,000 price tag PCs. Okay, where the big number shows behind them the big screens. Then he talks about reducing it to around $799, where they could have just released it last year with this price, but they said, well, we're gonna decide to wait another year to have a cheaper component and polish it a little better. Then the number will change to $499, which shows in the big screen, and he goes like, we reached that price and we think it is great for our gamer, but since we love our gamers, the price will be $399, which will be showing the big screen. And then he will go like, but we really, really, really do like and love our fans. So the final price will start with $349 this holiday season. Well, this is my ultimate Scorpio reveal. So, what is yours? Thank you guys. Please, keep up the good work with the show.
I hope for Microsoft's sake that Jack Jackal is their Scorpio announcer, because if what he says is true, it's beyond mic drop, right? It is beyond mic drop, and that's awesome. I mean, listen, it's not beyond Microsoft to be able to do that crap. We talked about that earlier in the show, so I won't beat it. I won't beat that horse, but I'll tell you right now, it's true. $349 is within their guidelines.
Yeah.
But I do think $399. That's interesting, though. I think it's two things. They have to show Scorpio in the beginning of the show. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But they really, really should. They really should. I think they might want to do the price up front, because people the whole show are going to be like, well, this looks great. It looks great.
No.
What's
What
the
you do
price?
is you do the price at the end because you see all
I
the
know.
how great the games look and everything,
That's
and
what
then they
Jack's
go,
saying,
yeah, like the price at the end makes the most sense because then you wow people. Like that's the mic drop moment is the price.
Well, I think
in
we
my
said it on
opinion.
Xbox Nation or Crossfire. If the price is at the end, it'll be $3.99. If it's at the beginning, it'll be high.
Well, I hope they don't do it at the beginning then.
Fact.
M&C Mornings, what's up? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Mooch and Crap? It's your boy Maniac 730. It's been a minute since I've been up here. All the way live from CT, Bridgeport. We in the house.
Nice.
What's
East
going
Coast.
on, Snaps? Xbox. Hey, yo, I got a little prediction here. You know what I'm saying? My prediction is, Microsoft going to show off the Scorpio, of course. They're going to show off some new IPs that's for the Scorpio. You know what I'm saying? Some power hitters. Also, they're going to reveal the price, of course. I believe it's going to be $400. With tax, it's going to be come up to like 460 something, whatever. So that's what you're going to be paying for the Scorpio. And what Sony's going to do to try to counter the Scorpio, since they don't have any games, no first-party games, since they spent all their last money, their little pennies on third-party exclusives like dummies, what they're going to do is they're going to talk about the PS4. I mean the PS5. They're gonna talk about the PS5. They probably drew a little design. They're gonna probably show that so the ponies could get hype since there aren't any first party games for PlayStation 4. Mine's just sitting right here. I just bought another one for like $150. I had to get my MLB 17. So yeah, my prediction is, Sony's gonna talk the keyword talk about the PS5. They're not even going to show it. And then Pony's going to be all hyped. They're going to go crazy. Everybody's going to go crazy on Twitter. The PS5 is coming. Sony wins E3 2017. That's my prediction, man. Peace out, man. Have a great day.
Good call. You know what? The only thing that I would say that I probably don't disagree with, is the fact that I don't think Sony mentions the PS5 at all. That's counterproductive to them.
That won't even be. They won't even rhyme with 5 this year.
Yeah, and the reason being is it's an obvious one. The PS4 is just absolutely dominating right now. Like they have no reason. Honestly, like as much as we're Xbox dudes, Sony has no reason to fear Microsoft at this particular point in time. Maybe if they come out with a $349, $399 Scorpio and a killer games lineup at that point, and then if people jump on that, then they start considering that. But right now, there is absolutely no reason for Sony to kind of jump the gun with that. Announcing, even hinting at a PS5 this year, knowing that it wouldn't be out next year, it wouldn't be out till probably, they would kill their own sales.
That's suicide for them,
Yeah.
because then everybody would go buy Scorpio for the next 2 years.
It's not suicide for Microsoft, because why? Because they're already going to be playing all the games, most of the games in 4K natively anyway. So you don't get 4K ear. That's just not how it works. So Microsoft would already have their 4K platform out. People would just buy it anyway. So it actually doesn't help Microsoft or doesn't help Sony whatsoever by announcing or even hinting at a PS5. So if Sony's smart, they would wait till 2020 to release that. That way that they'll probably would hit 100 million sold that way. You know what I mean? That's a huge success for them. I don't really see them feeling too stressed right now over the Scorpio. Just I don't see them really freaking out right now. They're going to play it wait and see. They're not, I can guarantee they're not rushing and going, "Hey, let's do this." Why aren't they rushing? Because everybody's catering to them right now anyway. The media, the developers, they're completely they're completely catering towards
Developers.
They're all catering.
Speaking of developer, the gentleman's calling that his numbers were a little off. He said 460. If the Scorpio's $399, you're looking at 432 with tax included, and that's with an 8% in New York, which is pretty damn high. I don't know what it is in Connecticut where he is, but I don't think Connecticut's higher than New York's. I think you're looking at 432 out the door. But I think that Microsoft, I hope they're listening to all of these shows. I hope somebody catches wind and says, the consumers are talking. And listen, it's not like we're being irate. We're not like $299 or bust. You know, we're not being
Yeah.
ridiculous. We're saying in case you were at $449, don't put the 4 in front, Microsoft. Make sure that's a $399 or a $349. Don't do $449 or $499. You're just, you know. And I want to shout out to Joseph, who wrote something on Twitter to me. And you crap. He was like, you know, mention the name Xbox One Premium. The reason I definitely don't think it's premium is because Phil came out and said we don't want to classify this as a premium. You know what I mean? They don't want to use that word. So if they don't want to use that word, they definitely don't want to put it on the box for the next 3 years.
Yeah, it's most likely going to be Xbox One X. I mean, whether people like that or not. And
Listen, X is fine. It's fine. I think the whole thing that you're saying, crap, and if that was their rationale with the whole the letters are now XBOX, that is absolutely, that's just a tale. Because yes, that's what it is. But as long as the one is in there, so is the one will never leave, and that'll never leave the awful slogan that they have affixated with their name. So they can say whatever they want. That's not going to go away. But the X is fine. I mean, the S is done very well. And then people will say, do you have the S or the X? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Not only that, but and I've said this for me, like, I'd be super surprised, like, if it was something other than Xbox One X for a lot of reasons. Like, again, that just spells out Xbox. Another reason the X is, Windows 10, which they're highly integrated with Windows 10. You look at the Mixer icon, and it's half white, half blue, which, again, that's an X in the middle.
Yes.
Get it? Like, it just is what it is. Like, half of it is the color of Windows, half of it's the color of Xbox. So, it just, everything kind of points towards Xbox One X. Like, you guys, and again, it's not what the name is, it's what, it's actually what it looks like, what it plays.
Yeah, the Roman numeral for 10, Windows 10.
Yeah.
It's just, it all ties into their ecosystem. It does make sense.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. So, MNC Mornings, how you doing? What's up?
Hey now.
Stage fright.
He hung up. He got so nervous that
he was like,
hung up.
"Oh my god, it's mooching crap! What do I do?" And then he hung up, man. Mooching crap.
Yeah. People are telling me there's people on Twitter. They're like, I can't get that theme out of my head.
We'll
now.
play it before we end the show as well. So, in case you guys, missed it, it's pretty damn funny. Do we got somebody on deck though for the last voicemail?
We do. We have Gold Lion X23.
Gold Lion X23.
Hey, J-Dubs, Mooch, Crap. This is Gold Line X23. Look, just wondering, were there any 8-bit or 16-bit game titles from like the TurboGrafx or the Sega Master System or Genesis would you like to see Microsoft invest in as a third-party exclusive? Maybe something like Castlevania from Konami, or Bonk's Adventure from the TurboGrafx 16, or Splatterhouse. You think they would invest in something like that to help pick up their current portfolio? Thanks, guys. Have a great show. Bye.
Everybody in the chat's like, "There's a crapaholic."
There's a crapaholic. We found one. Crapaholic inbound from Luke Taylor.
Yeah, I'm not sure who owns those rights to those games, but I know that a lot of those games are on like Nintendo platforms, like the virtual consoles and stuff. So I'm not sure if Microsoft can actually get any of those. Microsoft has a ton of IPs that they own that they do nothing with. Like, they own the Rare IPs, and they literally do nothing with them. So,
well, in all fairness, crap, they own the Rare IPs, but none of the ones that people wanted. Nintendo,
dude, people want a Banjo-Kazooie. I don't care what anybody says, man.
guess.
Banjo-Kazooie, Conker, like, those are games that people ask about, and they wouldn't even be that expensive to do.
True, they want them as much as they want Crash Bandicoot.
Oh man, people love Crash Bandicoot. And get it on the Pro if you're going to buy it. I mean, all that power,
Nostalgia is a hell of a drug. No, true, Mood.
All that power on the Pro, and you're going to be able to play it 30 frames per second, man. I mean, what more could you ask for? Oh, wait, I don't know, 60?
Yeah.
And it's only going to be 1440p on there as well. So.
I want to shout out Ethan Ramos in the chat. He goes, "Can you guys talk about games?" Listen, Ethan, we're a week away from E3, okay? So what there is to talk about is, of course, the new hardware that's coming out in Scorpio. But when you're talking about games, we're talking about a lot of new IP from Microsoft and a lot of new IP from Sony that they showed last year. And there's only so much you could talk about. I mean, how excited can I get about Detroit or the 25-minute Let's Play we saw of Days Gone at E3 last year? So, I mean, there's only so much to actually say because we're actually just as anticipating some of those games as you are. Let me say this, since you want to talk games for a second. Crap, let me ask you. Out of Microsoft's games coming out in 2017, which one are you most eagerly anticipating that you think will drop this year?
I like Crackdown 3 probably.
Yeah, Crackdown 3 wins mine as well because I think basically I want to see what the technical power is that they're going to execute. But I will say, as far as playing, I'm actually more interested in playing State of Decay 2, which concerns me because we've seen nothing from them except for screenshots or artwork.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's really them being button-lipped or if that's just...
That's going to be a good game to maybe stream, though, because it's 4-player co-op, so...
That we have yet to... Do we have a four-person co-op zombie game like that? I think we had Left 4 Dead, but that was a little different than this.
That was last gen, too.
Well,
Right, that's last gen.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead was really good. I heard you were streaming that, weren't you, Jay, with somebody?
Yeah, me and Danny Boy played that once in a while. I think me and Mooch played it once. We didn't stream
We
it.
did.
But,
we didn't stream it, though, yeah.
It was first when it first became backwards compatible, we played it because, we both...
That'd be a good one to play sometime.
I agree. Because
if you want to scream like a girl, you'd be screaming like a girl on that one for sure.
Yeah, you know what? I invested so much time in the first Left 4 Dead on 360. It was unbelievable. I put so much time into that game. It was absolutely a ton of fun. And I think that is a fantastic game. And I would love to kind of to see a sequel to that, even if it's not exclusive.
Yeah, speaking of scary games. Go ahead,
if it
Jay.
was exclusive, that would be pretty amazing.
It would be. It would be. Speaking of scary games, Dying Light was a great game that came out. I think it was early 2015. It could have been, I believe it was early 2015. Great game. And whatever happened to Dead Island 2?
They say it's still in production.
Man, let's get that out. I mean, I'm a huge Dead Island fan. As
They're
both
adding
of you
in
know.
all the parkour. That's why it's taking them so long.
Is that what they're really doing?
Well, think about it. Dying Light was basically the successor to it, and Dying Light was a way bigger success and had way less bugs. I think that's, the formula's there. Add the parkour, add the extra weapon crafting, and add extra gore. Then you've got a winning combination right there, I think.
Oh, that's pretty damn awesome. I agree. Like I'm looking forward to it. Me and Mooch are heavy into playing through the first remastered on on Xbox One. Remember, Mooch?
Yeah, I mean, we should actually play that again, Crap, because the remastered was awesome. Absolutely one of the best things that could have come out. We bought it for $20, and then me and Jay
I got it for
started
15.
You got it for cheaper. It really is a great game. I don't know. I would revisit it anytime, Crap. We could actually stream that because it's so funny because of all the odd glitches that still occur are kind of comical.
Okay,
yeah, I agree 100%.
That's the plan. Next Mooch and Crap streams, it's going to be Mooch, Crap, and Jay playing Dead Island.
That would be a good one, I think.
I'm down for that. Be a nice little change of pace.
Yeah, definitely. Do we have the Wheel of Wonder? Because we did get through all of our things, and somebody donated a year of EA access. Dan, what is his name? I forget his name. Amadolia or something like that. J. Amadolia.
I think it's Tony.
No, it's Tony Almeida. Almeida.
Tony Almeida. Yeah. Hold on.
Yes.
Yeah, he
The Wheel of
donated
Wonder's
a year of EA access, so we didn't have that many callers. So people have basically look at that. It's pretty pathetic. You guys better start calling in more. Come on. I mean, really, look, 7. We didn't even get a Def Jam Bam call or a Yoshida call. Come on.
Yeah,
So
Def Jam Bam, I was really looking forward to a call.
Come on, a Lady Foxfire call.
I have
somebody.
a feeling what might have happened this week, guys, was I think Skype was having a lot of problems, much like it has in the past. That's why we tried to get people to send their voicemails in by email.
Yeah.
mcmornings@gmail.com is the best way to do it. And as we saw for this week, Skype was having a lot of issues actually collecting voicemails. And I noticed when I was doing the voicemails up last night that there were a lot of calls that were coming in but not leaving messages. So I have a feeling that there was a problem. And I did a couple tests and I realized that there definitely was a problem. So I'm just gonna reiterate to people that if you really want to get in, use your cell phones, create a voicemail on that, and there's we will link the video tutorials in the description so people can see them. Very easy to do on any cell phone, and just email them to mcmornings@gmail.com. And quite honest with you, it's the best quality because you can record them over and over again till you get it right, and then send in the one you want.
Yeah, we didn't even get a Space Cat one. Thanks for pointing that out. We didn't get a Space Cat one. We can get anything. I mean, we got some good stuff from people, but man, only 7. But let's go ahead and roll this.
Roll that.
Yeah, let's roll that and see what we got here. Who's gonna win a year of Xbox EA Access? Who's gonna win it? Who is going?
Who's getting it? Who's getting it
to
now?
win it? Jack Jackal.
Nice.
Jack Jackal.
I love how it moves down real quick right there at the end, and it kind of tricks you out. Like, oh, who's gonna win it? Is it Luca? Is it Jack Jackal? No, it's Jack Jackal. So congratulations to Jack Jackal.
Jack Jackal, he's been like calling in religiously, and his questions are awesome. So.
Yeah, so definitely appreciate that, and you're gonna win a year of Xbox Live. So that is awesome. Yeah, we've got great stuff planned for this week. It's going to be a busy week. It's going to be a busy week with BGST and a lot of the people in the community and things like that. So thank you guys for coming out and stuff like that. Anything you want to say, Mooch, before we close the show out?
Yeah, I mean, just thanks for everyone for coming out today. Huge audience. Well over 550 today. That was amazing. I mean, this happens as we lead up to E3. Also, just want to say that it's going to be, God, we have so much coverage coming up. I hope there aren't a lot of leaks. If there are, there are. It is what it is. It's just the nature of the beast when it comes to E3. But we will have Crossfire 7 p.m. Eastern on Friday night, and we will have E3 coverage early 11 a.m. next Sunday on my channel here on MNC Mornings. So crap.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this whole week.
Yeah, you also have a Friday the 13th review out on your channel that's pretty
we
good
do.
as well,
Thank you for reminding me. Yes, check that out. I think a lot of people liked it, and I thought it was a fair review. I really do. I think the number I gave it was definitely fair. I got people that loved the game that said it was fair, and people that didn't like it said, you know what, maybe I'll even try it because that number's higher than I thought.
Absolutely. Oh, one more thing. I will read the Patreon supporters to that level. Josha Z, Jack Jackal, of course, Delilah HD, thank you very much. Justin B, Lethal Papa, John S, Mark D, G-Man 209, Blunter Beetle, Longshot 316, thank you guys so much for all the support. Ethan, Dallas, Killing Dan, Snoopy, Jazzy, Silent Bob, Ooh-wee, and Dirt Griggity. Thank you guys all so much for the support. It means a lot to us. If you guys want to support the Patreon, the link is below. Also, the tip jar. If you guys don't want to do the monthly thing, there's a tip jar as well below. The link is below. You can just give a one-time donation. It helps out the channel. It helps out the show. It helps us so that we can keep it going on iTunes and things like that and improve the quality. As you guys see, it continues to get better and better each week, the quality and things like that. So thank you guys very much. Hey, J-Dubs, can we roll the new bit from Livewires right into the outro?
Definitely.
Let's do it.
Okay, so
Enjoy
we
your
will
Sunday,
catch you guys
everybody.
later. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting us. Rack 'em up.
Peace.
Mooch and crap, they talk about games and no drama smack. Search the web for media ties to catch these ponies in their lives. Look out, here comes Mooch and Crab. Are they bots? Listen up, they have Mountain Dew in their blood. Neo Gas, Xbox Red, Crap's got Tim Dog all over it. Hey there, here comes Mooch and Crab. From a tweet of Phil, Xbox hate will arrive like the Scorpio. Mooch and Crab, but just in time. Mooch and crap, any gaming do a mooch and crap. YouTube in is their core. A thumb in is its reward to them. Xbox is one big hangout. Whenever there's a game out, you'll find Mooch and Crap.